Good afternoon. My name is Troy Washington. Today, I want to talk about a man whose life was just not history, but a fight for humanity itself, Brother Nelson Mandela. But I'm not just here to tell you he was a leader, but I'm here to show you how he used law, resilience, to sacrifice, to challenge one of the most brutal systems of oppression the world has ever seen, and that is apartheid. Now let's take a moment. His early life and education. Nelson Mandela was born in 1918 in South Africa. He didn't grow up rich or powerful. He grew up in a system that's already designed to limit him because of the color of his skin. But what made Mandela different was that he chose education as a weapon. He attended the University of Fort Hare and later studied at the University of Witwatersrand, becoming one of the few black law students in a system built to exclude him. And you know what? This actually matters because Mandela didn't just feel injustice. He learned how to analyze it, challenge it, and fight it legally. Now let's take a moment to talk about Mandela, the lawyer, fighting injustice in the courtroom. Mandela became a lawyer and co-founder of South Africa's first black law firm. Now think about that. Black South Africans would be arrested, harassed, and stripped of basic rights every single day. And Mandela stood in court defending them against a system that was already stacked against them. He saw firsthand on how the law was not being used for justice. It was being used as a tool of control. And that's when everything shifted. I know you're thinking, what is apartheid? So let's understand that system. Apartheid was not just racism. It was a legal system of racial segregation enforced by South African government. Black people were forced to live in different places, stripped of their rights to vote, treated unfairly, and poor jobs and education. It was oppression written into law. And Mandela realized something powerful. Now let's take a moment to talk about his peaceful protest to resilience. Mandela joined the African National Congress, better known as the ANC, and initially supported peaceful protests. But after years of violence against Black South Africans, including events like the Schaeferville Massacre, Mandela came to a hard truth. Peaceful protest alone was not enough. So he helped form a resistance group, carried out acts of sabotage against government systems, not to harm civilians, but to fight back against oppression. And because of that, he became a target. Now let's take a moment to talk about his trial, his imprisonment, and 27 years of sacrifice. In 1964, Mandela was arrested and sentenced to life in prison. During his trial, he made it one of the most powerful statements in history. Mandela spent 27 years, and most of that time on Robben Island. He was forced into hard labor, silenced, taken away from his family, but never broken. Now, let's take a moment to talk about his freedom, his leadership, and changing a nation. In 1990, Nelson Mandela was finally freed from prison. Instead of revenge, he chose reconciliation. That's what makes his story different. He worked to dismantle apartheid and helped lead South Africa into its first democratic election in 1994, when he became the country's first black president. Lastly, let's talk about Mandela's legacy, him being more than a man. Mandela showed the world that law can be used to fight injustice. Leadership is not about power, it's about purpose. True strength is choosing peace when you have every reason to choose anger. To conclude, when we talk about Mandela, we're not just talking about history. We're talking about what it means to stand up, even when the system is against you. Because Mandela didn't just change laws. He changed what people believed was possible. Thank you. And again, my name is Troy Washington.